This took me a fair while to realize, but as soon as I did, everything just seemed so clear very suddenly. I can see it's something that I had an issue with for a long, long time, which is binge eating. I was reading some Alan Carr books about uh, binge eating and sugars and all this stuff, and I was also around the same time I was watching a series about I can't remember the name of it, but it's about some chimpanzees in an African forest that they followed around. Really cool stuff, just seeing them in their natural habitat and how similar they are to humans. The one thing they seemed to do that I noticed was that they would never mix fruit with the meat that they would eat. They would hunt and kill monkeys and eat them raw for their meat, and they would eat fruit from obviously the fruit trees. But they never did it around the same time. I don't think even the same day. Some days were fruit, other times were the meat, which was eaten raw, obviously. And I look at my own life and everyone around me, and ever since I was a kid, and ever since my whole life, just seeing this all around me, where we mix sugar with fat, we mix it like it's normal, like steak. We put sauce on the steak, or we just mix simply steak with potatoes, bread, butter, cheese, meat, all mixed up together. Pretty much any meal that we eat since we're kids has a combination of fat and sugar together. And I have a theory that this may be the issue. And I know definitely it's the issue for me in terms of binge eating, because when you combine fat and sugar, and large corporations have known this for a long time, it creates a super satiating experience where there's an experience. It's like a drug experience. You get to experience these two kind of pleasures combined, which exponentially makes your body react in a way that isn't natural. There's only one thing that contains these two, which is breast milk, and it makes sense because it's there to try to make us grow as quickly as possible. So when we combine sugar and fat, it does things to the body that kind of makes it not function properly. It's a taste experience that's so pleasurable that we want to keep doing it. It fucks with our ability to sense whether we're full, so we keep eating beyond that experience of fullness, beyond what the body needs. I would go so far as to say that potentially a lot of our health issues are caused by this mixture. Because if we look at the studies, and I've read a lot of them, that a, they've been curing a lot of severe diseases with a low fat diet. They've also been curing the same diseases with a high fat, low carb diet. So by giving the body a clear energy, allowing it to use energy in a clear way, it seems to heal the body. Whether that's fat, whether that's carbs, we just can't put them together because they seem to cause issues when they're together. The body doesn't sense things properly. The body doesn't absorb them properly. The taste is strange, and you can't stop eating. So what I've been doing is keeping them apart. I don't like to eat a lot of carbs, but for this experiment, I have been doing it. It's mainly because when I eat them, my skin gets really bad, and I get migraines, I get brain fog, my motivation's gone, I just want to sleep, I get depression from carbs for whatever reason, I don't know. But for this experiment, for this idea, I have been experimenting a bit, and what I find is that I ate a large plate of just potatoes and chicken breast. Nothing, no fat added, no butter, just some salt. And I found that I just got to a point where I was really full and I didn't want to keep eating. But had I put fat with it and butter and whatever else with it, it would have just made it so satiating that I wouldn't have been able to stop. and it would trigger something in me that would make me want to do it again in the future. This binge eating type thing. I also found that the bloating was less when I ate it without the fat. And it's the same with the opposite when we just eat meat with no carbs, which I've been doing for years. Except that sometimes I would eat it with fruit, or sometimes I would put whatever with it, even just low carb things, if it causes a problem. So my theory is that this is a big issue for humans. No other animals do it. They don't mix sugar with fat at all. And we shouldn't be doing it either. It's dangerous. It's super satiating. It will make you fat. It will cause disease in the body, and it will make you addicted to food and start to binge eat. Thanks, guys.